3, 2, 1. Hello to the next English lesson, and so you can see how it works, and the plan for today is
So for today we're going to revise Unit 28 and Unit 29, and also start new lesson, Unit 30, and probably do a bit of reading for Unit 27.
okay.
Thank you. So, good morning.
Good morning.
What do you remember from, what words do you remember from previous lesson?
I don't remember.
Don't remember anything? Nothing about stairs?
Stairs, banister.
Nothing about 90 degrees?
Banister, handrail, and
90 degrees.
90 degree ankle, and
ladder to climb.
Ladder is lean. Lean on, leaned.
Very good,
leaning,
excellent.
yes.
Cold.
Cold.
Where are you in the court? Lawyer, prosecutors. What does it mean? Witness.
To an oath.
Very
Okay.
good. To swear an oath.
Is swear an oath.
Excellent. So very good. We can
Okay.
start. So Unit 28. Lean.
Lean opierać się.
Leaning.
Leaning oparty. Oparty? Pochylony.
Lean on.
Lean on polegać na kimś.
Angle.
Angle kąt.
Are passengers allowed to lean out of a window on a train? Are passengers allowed to lean out of a window on a train?
No, passengers aren't allowed to lean out of a train.
Out of a
window on a train.
Excellent. What do you need to do with a ladder before you can climb it? What do you need to do with a ladder before you can climb it?
I need to lean the ladder against a wall before I can climb it.
Excellent. How can you lean on? Who can you lean on in case you need help? Who can you lean on in case you need help?
I can lean on my family in case I need help.
Excellent. Do you know what angle the Leaning Tower of Pisa leans at? Do you know what angle the Leaning Tower of Pisa leans at?
Yes, I know what's the leaning.
The angle.
An angle of leaning tower of Pisa leans at. It's 3 degrees. 4 degrees.
Excellent. What's the right angle?
Right angle is 90 degrees.
Excellent. Curse.
To curse przeklinać.
Swear, swore, sworn.
Swear, sworn, przysięgać.
Oath.
Oath, przysięga.
When you swear an oath. Swear an oath.
Swear an oath. Yes,
Is there a way in Polish?
Yes. Swear an oath. Przysięgać. Składać przysięgę.
Excellent. Are the words curse and swear similar in meaning? Are the words curse and swear similar in meaning?
Yes, the words curse and swear are similar in meaning.
What do some of us do when we hit our foreheads on a cardboard drawer? What do some of us do when we hit our heads on the cardboard drawers?
When we hit our foreheads against cardboard drawers, we curse.
What animals do you think are a real curse?
Insects and rats are a real curse.
Excellent. Have you ever cursed yourself for not buying something which was a real bargain?
Yes, I cursed myself for buying something which was a real bargain.
Why shouldn't we swear in front of children? Why shouldn't we swear in front of children?
We shouldn't swear in front of children because they will learn to curse too.
Building imitators.
Okay.
Excellent. What do people swear when they are getting married? What do people swear when they're getting married?
People swear to love each other forever when they getting married.
Excellent. Are witnesses in court required to swear an oath? Are witnesses in court required to swear an oath?
Yes, witnesses in court are required to swear an oath.
Excellent. Give me an example of a sentence beginning with I could have sworn.
I could have sworn I sent a message to you last week.
Okay. In the Middle Ages, did people believe that certain places were cursed? In the Middle Ages, did people believe that certain places were cursed?
Yes, in the Middle Ages, people believed that certain places were cursed.
Excellent. Inner.
Inner wewnętrzny.
Outer.
Outer zewnętrzny.
Layer.
Layer warstwa.
Pastry.
Pastry ciasto.
Apple pie.
Apple pie jabłecznik.
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Okay, what does the inner layer of an apple pie consist of? What does the inner layer of an apple pie consist of?
The inner layer of apple pie consists of baked apples.
Very good. Do we use pastry as the outer layer, covering the bottom sides and the top of an apple pie? Do we use pastry as the outer layer, covering the bottom sides and the top of an apple pie?
Yes, we use pastry as the outer layer, covering the bottom sides and the top of the apple pie.
Excellent. What's lasagna?
Lasagna is traditional Italian dish.
Very good.
Consists of layers of meat, pasta, vegetables, sauce. Yes.
Excellent. Very good. Can a clear conscience often give us a sense of inner calm? Can a clear conscience often give us a sense of inner calm?
Yes, the clear conscience often gives us a sense of inner calm.
Excellent. How many layers of clothing do you wear in winter? How many layers of clothing do you wear in winter?
I wear 3 layers of clothing in winter.
Excellent. What will soon cover furniture if we don't wipe it with a cloth from time to time? What will soon cover furniture if we don't wipe it with a cloth from time to time?
The layer of dust will cover our furniture if we don't clean it with a cloth from time to time.
Excellent. A shawl.
A shawl zapewniać.
In shawl.
In shawl upewniać.
Huge.
Huge, ogromny.
Before you leave on a holiday, do you ensure that all lights, the cooker and the gas stove are switched off? Before you leave on a holiday, do you ensure that all the lights, the cooker and the gas stove are switched off?
Yes, before I leave on holiday, I ensure that all the lights, cooker and gas stove are switched off.
Excellent. There's a fastened seatbelt to ensure your safety in case of a crash. There's a fastened seatbelt ensure your safety in case of a crash.
Yes, a fastened seatbelt ensure my safety in case of a crash.
Excellent. What do doctors assure patients of before an operation? What do doctors assure patients of before an operation?
Doctors ensure patients before an operation that they will do their best.
Excellent. What often assures a huge box office success of a film? What often assures a huge box office success of a film.
Film stars and
Famous
film stars and
an excellent film director.
an excellent film director and showed
A show.
a show, a huge box office success of film.
Excellent. In case of a failure, should parents always assure their children that everything will be alright? In case of failure, should parents always assure their children that everything will be alright?
Yes, in case of a failure, parents always should ensure the children that everything will be okay.
Excellent. Rail.
Rail poręcz.
Railing.
Railing poręcz.
Handrail.
Handrail poręcz.
Banister.
Banister poręcz.
Chain.
Chain, chain przymocowywać łańcuchem, a chain łańcuch.
Okay. Where do you find railings? Where do you find railings?
I find railings around parks and ships, okay, and at in the mountains at steep slopes. At steep plural, yes, steep slopes.
What do you hold on to when you climb the stairs? What do you hold on to when you climb the stairs?
When I climb the stairs, I hold on to handrail.
Yeah, or banister. Excellent.
Banisters or a handrail, yes?
Yeah, handrail is better. Both. Did you used to slide down the banister when you were a child? Did you used to slide down the banister when you were a child?
Yes, I used to slide down the banister when I was a child.
Excellent. Have you ever heard about a child who got his head stuck in the railings? Have you ever heard about a child who got his head stuck in the railings?
Yes, I've ever heard about a child who got his head stuck in the railings.
Excellent. Why do people chain their bikes to park railings? Why do people chain their bikes to park railings?
People chain their bikes to park railings to ensure that nobody will steal them. Okay.
To ensure their safety, basically. What could happen if someone leaned out too far over a railing above a steep slope? What could happen if someone leaned out too far over a railing above a steep slope?
If somebody leaned out too far over a railing at above a step slope, the person may fall down.
Excellent. Do hip-hop singers wear heavy gold chains? Do hip-hop singers wear heavy gold chains?
Yes, hip-hop singers wear heavy gold chains.
Very good. Track.
Tractor.
Platform.
Platform, peron.
Compartment.
Compartment, przedział.
Carriage.
Carriage, wagon.
Announce.
Announce, ogłoszenie. To announce or an announce?
No, both.
Both, okay. Ogłoszenie, ogłaszać.
What do you need to know to find your seat on a train?
To find a seat on a train, I need to know a seat number and a seat and compartment number.
Okay, very good. But usually here announce, because if it was a noun, it would be announcement. It wouldn't be announced. So I don't know why they give both explanations. Here it's clearly about.
Announce.
It's only to announce.
Jest to announce.
Mhm.
O zawiadomić, ogłosić.
Both means to announce. Both means the verb, or they mean also
Verb.
They're both verbs.
Zawiadamiać, ogłaszać, albo zawiadomić, ogłosić.
Okay.
It's verb, still verb.
Okay, very good.
I don't know the roots of
What?
of using these verbs into forms.
No, I
But
get
both
what
are correct.
Do you prefer smoking on a non-smoking compartment? Do you prefer smoking or non-smoking compartment?
I prefer non-smoking compartment.
Okay, where do you get on and off a train at a railway station? Where do you get on and off a train at a railway station?
I get on and off a train on a platform at a railway station.
Excellent. What information do passengers find on a train timetable besides time trains arrives and depart from the station? What information do passengers find on the train timetable besides the time trains arrive and depart from the station? Passengers find
information such
such
a platform number and the track number besides on the timetable, on the train timetable, besides the information about arrives and departures of trains.
Yeah, besides information of time. You
can say time, yes.
Yeah, you can say arrivals and departures, it's fine.
Yeah.
Besides the time for arrivals and departures from the station. What's usually announced a few minutes before the arrival of a train? What's usually announced a few minutes before the arrival of a train?
A few minutes before an arrival of a train, the information about platform and track sometimes.
Yeah, even a number train.
A number train are announced.
Okay, excellent. So you asked me questions with compartment.
Compartment. Is it possible to book a smoking compartment on a train?
Is it possible
to book a compartment for smokers? I know
smoking, yeah, sure.
Because they use non-smoking compartments.
Yeah.
So is it possible to use a smoking compartment on a train?
Yeah. I wouldn't say it like that, but yeah, it is possible, but I wouldn't do it because I don't smoke.
It's not more possible. There are only non-smoking compartments.
Exactly, but why do they give an option with
old.
two? Yeah, because it's old. They used to allow it.
Yeah, it was possible.
Yeah,
but
because now
I don't know.
because now that I remember, there's always a sign that you can't smoke on the train. So like in the old days, you were able to do so. Interesting.
There was one or two compartments for smoking.
Okay, interesting. Chain.
Chain. Do you like wearing gold chains? Heavy gold chains.
No, I don't like wearing heavy gold chains. A shawl.
A shawl. What do you do to ensure yourself?
Into a shore. Shawl.
A shawl. What do you do to assure yourself that a student understands a question?
Well, I repeat it twice to make sure they understand and listen to their answer. As simple as that. What question is that? Layer?
Layer. How many layers Big Mac consists of.
How many layers?
Big Mac consists of.
I don't eat Big Mac. First of all, I'm not a burger person. But I presume it consists more of like 3 or 4 layers. Yeah. How many layers does it consist of?
Like
because you'll have definitely a salad, cheese, meat.
Double.
Yeah. Oh, and it's double, so yeah, it'll be almost 5 for layers.
Okay.
Yeah. So swear an oath.
In what situations do you have to swear an oath?
You have usually swearing oath is a term used in court when you have your witness and you have to speak only the truth in court. Yeah, in court usually. So we continue with Unit 29, Revision 2, estimate.
Estimate określa.
To estimate.
Ocenić, oszacować. To estimate, oszacować.
Estimate, like the word noun. Estimate noun.
Estimate, oszacowanie, ocena.
Ocena, excellent. Estimation.
Estimation. Oszacowanie, nie. Zdanie, mniemanie, estimate, szacunek. Znaczy w sensie oceny.
So to go up and down in somebody's estimation.
Up and down in somebody's estimation, zyskiwać lub tracić w czyjejś ocenie.
Okay. At a rough estimate, how much do you need to finish this stage? At a rough estimate, how much time do you need to finish this stage of the book? Yeah.
At a rough estimate, I need 5 lessons to finish this stage.
Excellent. Is it easy to estimate the future value of shares?
No, yes, okay, it's easy to estimate a future value of shares.
How many people do you estimate suffer from famine in Africa? How many people do you estimate suffer from famine in Africa?
I estimate that about 3 million people suffer from famine in Africa.
In your estimation, who's been the best prime minister in your country? In your estimation, who's been the best prime minister in your country?
In my estimation, John Smith was the best. Has been the best. Has been the best prime minister of my country.
Yeah. What does a person have to do to go down in your estimation? What does a person have to do to go down in your estimation?
The person has to let me down, to go down in my estimation.
Excellent. To permit.
To
permit. The
to
verb.
permit. Pozwalać.
Permit. Sorry. Permit.
Permit. Pozwolenie.
Excellent. Are there fewer public places where smoking's permitted nowadays than there used to be? Why? Are there fewer public places where smoking's permitted nowadays than there used to be, and why?
Yes, there are fewer places, public places where smoking is permitted nowadays. Than it used to be before.
Why?
Because generally smoking is prohibited in all public places.
Okay, you can say that. Well, because people are now more aware of the dangers of smoking than they used to. Probably. What permits what permits you to access files on your computer? What permits you to access files on your computer?
A password permits me to access files on my computer.
Excellent. What buildings are we usually not permitted to take photographs of? What buildings are we usually not permitted to take photographs of?
Military buildings are usually places that we are not permitted to take pictures of.
Okay. How old must a man or a woman be before they are permitted to get married? How old must a man or a woman be before they are permitted to get married?
A man or woman must be at least 18. Men 16, I think, and women 18 to be permitted to get married.
Oh, really? A man can be 16? It's not the same?
I think
For us, it's the same. I think men and women.
I think it's not the same.
There's like a difference for men and women.
Yeah. I think
it's standard for everybody. Usually, it's a standard age. I don't know. But it's around 18. It's not even 21. For us, it's 21.
No, it's 18, I think.
For us in London, it's 21. You must be 21. Do you need a permit to park your car in a place for the disabled? Do you need a permit to park your car in the place for the disabled?
Yes, I need a permit to park my car for a place for disabled. In a place for disabled.
What do citizens of a foreign country need to work abroad? What do citizens of a foreign country need to work abroad?
Citizens of a foreign country needs a work permit to be able to work abroad.
Okay, excellent. Seize, the word. Seize, to seize something. If your government seize your property.
Yes, seize. Seize one, okay, yes.
Like you don't pay tax and they seize your property or something. Przedzieć, okay, grasp.
Chwycić.
In your grasp, then the same thing?
Yeah, grasp.
Grab.
Chwycić. Grab, chwycić.
Grip.
Grip, chwycić.
Extend. Stopień.
It's a noun to an extent. Okay, an extent, stopień. Rozmiar.
Okay, rozmiar, excellent. Do some people become rich because they can recognize the opportunity, seize it, and develop it to the fullest extent? Do some people become rich because they can recognize the opportunity, seize it, and develop it to the fullest extent?
Yes, some people
become rich.
Some people become rich because they recognize the opportunity, seize it, and develop it to
the
fullest extent.
Excellent. What do you think the expression "seize the day" means? What do you think the expression "seize the day" means?
The expression "seize a day."
The day.
Seize the day means to enjoy the moment. Okay.
Yeah, enjoy the moment. Live in the moment.
Okay.
Don't think about the future, basically. Don't worry about the future. The bolt tires ensure a firm grip in slippery conditions. The bolt tires ensure a firm grip in slippery conditions.
No, plural, yes. Bolt tires don't ensure the firm grip in slippery conditions.
Excellent. The Germans seized control of almost all of Europe during World War II. Did the Germans seize control of almost all of Europe during World War II.
Yes, Germans seized control.
Germans
seized control all over
of almost all.
of almost all
all of Europe.
all Europe. Okay, of
Almost
Europe,
all of.
almost
all of.
of Europe during World War II.
Excellent. Would a glass bottle probably break if it slipped from your grasp and fell on the floor? Would a glass bottle probably break if it slipped from your hands and fell to the floor?
Yes, a glass of bottle will probably break if it is slip out of my hand. Slip of grasp of my hand.
You can say your hand
and fall down.
Yeah, and fell on the floor.
And fell. Fell on the
fell
floor.
Down.
Fell down.
If you slipped on wet stairs, why would you grieve to save yourself from falling down the stairs? If you slipped on wet stairs,
This way.
If you slipped on wet stairs, why would you grieve to save yourself from falling down the stairs?
If I were maybe about to sleep
on wet stairs.
on wet stairs, I would grip handrail not to fall down.
So you don't fall down. Save yourself.
To save myself from falling down.
Excellent. When you shake hands with a person, do you prefer it when his grasp is cool and firm? When you shake hands with someone, do you prefer that their grasp is cool and warm and firm?
Cool. No, I prefer that the hand is warm and firm.
Okay, warm and firm. Great.
Not like
not cool and firm.
Not cool, like I don't know, cold.
Do dogs sometimes grab food and run away? Do dogs sometimes grab food and run away?
Yes, dogs sometimes grab food and run away.
Yeah, sorry. Has anyone ever tried to grab your mobile phone in the street? Has anyone, ever tried to grab your mobile phone in the street?
No, nobody tried to grab my mobile phone and run away.
No, in the street.
In the street and run away.
Yeah,
I think it's the idea of the question.
Exactly.
Grab my mobile phone and run away.
After you finish this course, will you have a good grasp of English? After you finish this course, will you have a good grasp of English?
Yes, when I finish this stage, I think I will have a good grasp of English.
Excellent. If you want to climb a tall ladder, must you grasp it with both hands? If you want to climb a tall ladder, must you grasp it with both hands?
Yes, if I want to climb a tall ladder, I have to grasp it with both hands.
Excellent. Do all people grasp for the importance of a good education? Do all people grasp the importance of a good education?
No.
Not all.
Not all people grasp the importance of good education.
Excellent. If you slipped, no.
Yes, in this.
Would a glass bottle, probably black, if it stripped from your grasp and fell on the floor? Would a glass bottle probably black if it slipped from your grasp and fell on the floor?
Yes, the bottle of water will break if it slip off my hand.
It slipped from my.
Passive voice. If it slipped off my hand.
No.
From my hand.
No. What do you do with your hand when you grab it? Slipped from.
If it slipped from my grasp.
It will probably break
and fall down.
And fall in the past.
And fell down.
And fell on
the floor.
Excellent.
Yes. And fell or fell down or
No, fell and then fell on the floor.
On the floor.
Yeah, just fell on.
If
So.
a glass, because it was a glass bottle, yes?
Yeah, or a bottle of water, it's still the same thing.
I have plastic bottle and will not.
No, glass.
Glass, it was glass, yes?
Yeah,
okay.
Okay, so scatter. Scatter, word.
Scatter.
When something scatter.
And saw, yeah? Saw?
No, but I asked scatter first.
Scatter. Okay.
Stars are scattered in the sky.
Rozsiany, okay. Rozrzucony, scatter.
Okay,
Scatter.
sowed and sown.
Sąszyć.
Exact. Sow the seeds of doubt.
Sow the seeds of doubt, zasiać ziarno niepewności.
Is glass seed sown in rows? Is grass seed sown in rows? Is grass seed sown in rows?
Okay. Is grass seed?
No, it's not sown in rows.
In rows, okay. No, the grass seeds are not isn't sown in rows, but they are scattered all over the place.
Excellent.
Yes. Okay.
Are stars scattered all over the sky?
Yeah.
Stars scattered all over the sky?
Yes, stars are scattered all over the sky.
Okay, how can you sow the seeds of doubt in someone? How can you sow the seeds of doubt in someone?
Yes, I can sow the seeds of doubt in someone saying, are you sure?
By constantly.
By constantly saying, are you sure?
Excellent. Accompany. Accompany? Accompany. It's a word.
It's a word, it's a to, no, it's and no. Accompany.
No, it's the verb.
The verb, to,
to
accompany, towarzyszyć.
During a thunderstorm, what's the stroke of lightning accompanied with? During thunderstorm, what's the stroke of lightning accompanied by?
During a thunderstorm, a stroke is
of lightning.
A stroke of lightning, yes, is accompanied by a roll of thunder.
Excellent.
Of thunders or thunder?
No, a roll of thunder.
Roll of thunder.
Must children always be accompanied by adults when crossing the streets? Must children always be accompanied by adults when crossing the streets?
Yes, children must be accompanied by.
Must always be
accompanied by adults by crossing the street.
Do some dishes taste better if accompanied by wine? Do some dishes taste better if accompanied by wine? Do some dishes taste better if accompanied by wine?
Yes, some dishes taste better if they are accompanied by wine.
Accompanied by wine. Excellent. It's N-I-D, not N. The E is not really pronounced when you're saying accompanied. You don't say accompanied.
It is.
You say it, but when we're speaking, nobody says that. Like whenever I'm speaking with a person or a native speaker, they never say that. It's accompanied, like it's quicker. Grant.
Okay.
Grant.
Grant is.
Okay, grant.
To grant.
To grant both the word, the noun and the verb. To grant and then a grant.
Przyznawać dotację. Grant, dotacja.
Excellent. Reward.
Reward, nagroda.
To reward.
To reward, nagradzać.
Aid.
Aid, pomoc.
First aid kit.
First aid kit, apteczka.
Equipment.
Equipment, wyposażenie.
Okay, fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher, gaśnica.
Take it for granted.
Take it for granted, zapewniać.
Okay.
Przyznawać, nie?
Take it for granted.
Przyznać za rzecz oczywistą. Okay.
So a grant is money we receive from the government or a particular institution, and the reward is something good we receive for something good we have done. What's the difference between a grant and a reward? What's the difference between a grant and a reward?
A grant is money from the government.
You receive from the government or a particular organization.
And reward is
for what? For a particular purpose.
For a particular purpose, okay.
And the reward.
And reward is
receive it.
You receive it
for something.
For something
good.
Something good
you've done.
You've done. Okay.
Yeah, because you can reward me for something good I've done, and you definitely a reward can also be you can give me a pen, or you can give me a book.
Yeah. But even in Polish, it's like finding
the grant always
the
is
right
about money. Yeah.
Finding the right words, exactly the right words is hard.
Yeah.
If it's not, if it doesn't come from the questions, it's hard.
Yeah, exactly. It's because you won't say, "Oh, I give you a grant for probably doing your job well." No, I rewarded you. Reward is usually used every time. Grant, it's more official, like government projects. The private institutions sometimes grant money in aid of medical research. The private institutions sometimes grant money in aid of medical research.
Yes.
Private
institutions grant money. Sometimes, okay. In aid of medical researches. Research.
Does the government grant financial aid to the unemployed? Does the government grant financial aid to the unemployed?
Yes, government grant money for unemployed.
To the unemployed. Have you ever received a reward for excellent marks at school? Have you ever received a reward for excellent marks at school?
No, I've never received a reward for excellent marks at school.
What kind of things do children take for granted? What kind of things do children take for granted?
Children take, for example, parents love, children take for granted.
Children take for granted. The parents love, for example.
The parents love.
Do some of us take having a supply of oil for granted? Do some of us take having a supply of oil for granted?
Yes, some of us take supplying of oil for granted.
Give me an example of an essential piece of equipment in a vehicle. Give me an example of an essential piece of equipment in a vehicle.
Essential piece of equipment in a vehicle is, for example,
first aid one.
First aid kit and spare wheel.
And what? Firewood.
Fire extinguisher.
Excellent. And fire extinguisher. Excellent. So ask me words with reward.
Reward. Have you ever received a reward for excellent marks at school?
Yes, I've received a reward for excellent marks at school. Estimate.
Estimate. To estimate and estimate. Okay. Estimate. Moment. Because it's specific. Estimate.
To estimate. Use the
Estimate. is it easy to estimate the value of Rwanda's shares that are for
On the stock market,
on the Rwanda stock market?
No, because actually it just like opened. We never used to have a stock market. It just opened recently, so I don't think for something that has a small, and they also have smaller companies on, like a small amount of companies on. Yeah, so I don't think it's that easy to estimate the shares, the value of the shares in that stock market. And I want you to use, so you did estimate, permit.
To permit or a permit?
To permit, the word.
Okay, to permit, yes, again, specific one moment. To permit, okay, permit,
Allowed.
yeah, I know, but to permit, I don't know, permit, and give me one more word like from these, then
Okay.
permit work, like maybe.
Do you want me to ask you a question and then you ask me a question?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Another.
how
Yes.
long are you permitted to stay without paying taxes?
Permitted.
Without paying, for example, you have building taxes. Do you pay taxes, for example, for renting this place? Exactly. So how long are you permitted to stay, for example, without paying the taxes? How long before they charge you or they arrest you for it?
I am probably permitted maybe
Like a
2
duration
weeks.
around,
2 weeks not to pay for rent.
Okay. A 2-week duration, and then after that they can
Probably.
charge you or something.
I
Okay,
see.
great.
Okay. Well, now I have. Are you permitted to? Are you permit? No, yes. Are you permitted? Because it goes passive voice. Okay. Are you permitted to park your bicycle around Bydgoszcz wherever you want?
Wherever I want? No, you can't
No.
just. No, I'm not permitted to park my bicycle around big, wherever I want. Only
In public places, I mean public places.
in public places, wherever I want. No, I don't think so. Not wherever you want.
Bicycle, not a car.
Really, you're allowed to park it anywhere?
No,
I don't think you are.
don't think,
Yeah, I don't think. Even though I've never been in such a dilemma where I have to know if I should do this, but I think you're not anywhere.
Oh, I have even better question. Are you permitted to chain your bicycle wherever you want in public places around Bydgoszcz?
No, I don't think so.
No.
You can't chain it anywhere, wherever you want. Probably dogs, because I see
your
people
dog.
because I see people just chain their dogs anywhere, but yeah, I don't think for a bicycle it would be the same context. So you can read on 27. We have 2 minutes left.
27. And a detached house, a semi-detached house, yes, we know because they should use it.
Yeah.
A terraced house, a cottage, residence, thatched skyscraper. In which type of house does a family get the most privacy? A family gets the most privacy in a detached house. Why is a terraced house cheaper to build than a semi-detached one? A terraced house is cheaper to build than a semi-detached house because, okay, is usually smaller in size. Okay, terraced houses are attached to one another and so they share walls. This in turn means that the house needs fewer bricks to build. Yeah.
To be built.
To be built. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Which house would be most convenient for you, a cottage or a residence or a detached house? A detached house would be the most convenient for me. Why? Because it would offer privacy and wouldn't be so expensive to maintain. How many bedrooms do you think a house needs to be considered a residence? I think a house needs 6 bedrooms to consider a residence. So what's the official residence of the American presidents? The White House is the official residence of the American president. What's the roof of a thatched house covered with? The roof of a thatched house cottage is covered with straw. Which 2 famous skyscrapers were destroyed in the terrorist attack of 11th September 2001? The Twin Towers were the two famous skyscrapers which were destroyed in the terrorist attack on 11th September 2001. Adjust, adjustable, adapt. What do your eyes do when you open them at night in a dark bedroom? Your eyes adjust to the dark when you open them at night in a dark bedroom. Have humans adapted well to living in almost any conditions? Yes, humans have adapted well to living in almost any conditions. When driving a car, why do you have to adjust your radio from time to time? When driving a car, you have to adjust your radio from time to time because you lose the signal, and you have to adjust the radio to pick it up again. Is the height of a bicycle seat adjustable? Yes, the height of a bicycle seat is adjustable. What things are adjustable in a car? Mirrors, seats, and seat belts are adjustable in a car. Why do so many drivers adapt their cars nowadays to take gas instead of diesel or petrol? So many drivers adapt their cars nowadays to take gas instead of diesel or petrol because gas is much cheaper. What do children have to do when they move to a different town? Children have to adapt to their new friends, new school, new neighborhood when they move to a different town. When is it extremely hard to adjust to living alone? It's extremely hard to adjust to living alone when we've been married and our husband or wife dies. Accordingly, if the price of grain grew by 10%, would you accept the price of flour to rise accordingly? Yes, if the price of grain grew by 10%, I'd accept the price of flour to rise. Expect the price of flour to rise accordingly. If you managed a company and your competition introduced a new product to the market, would you act accordingly? Yes, if I manage a company and my competition introduced a new product to the market, I'd act accordingly. Bind, bound, bound. Bind something to do something. Unite, censor. It's bound to happen. Why do bank robbers sometimes bind up security guards when breaking into a bank? Bank robbers sometimes bind up security guards in order not to be disturbed when breaking the bank safe. Yes. What kind of things bind people together? Common hobbies or shared experiences bind people together. Are you bound to by an agreement after you've signed it? Yes, you've bound by an agreement after you've signed it. When you bound to pay the rent for your house, I'm bound to pay the rent for my house at the beginning of each month. What are you bound by law to do when you're a witness to a road accident? You're bound by law to help the victims and inform the police when you are a witness of a road accident. What's bound to happen if you come to a curve in the road and you don't adjust your speed accordingly? You're bound to have an accident if you come to a curve in the road and you don't adjust your speed accordingly. Okay, do you know anyone who can combine being charming with being determined? I don't understand. Yes, I know someone who can combine being charming with being determined. Who is? It's my boss. For what reasons can people sometimes unite in opposition to their government? People can sometimes unite in opposition to their government. For example, when the government would to pass a law which would censor the internet. Yes, okay. Flow, cash flow, roadworks. Which sea does the Nile flow into? The Nile flows into the Mediterranean Sea. What's likely to happen if we don't bind up a deep cut and we let the blood flow from the wound? If we don't bind up a deep cut and we let the blood flow from the wound, the person's likely to bleed to death. What can interrupt the flow of traffic in the city? An accident or road works can interrupt the flow of traffic in a city. Does the internet enable a free flow of information? No, yes, okay, the internet enables a free flow of information. Why is it so important for a company to maintain a good cash flow? It's so important for a company to maintain a good cash flow because otherwise they may have problems paying their bills on time. Densely populated, urban, rural. In water dense than air, yes, water's dense than air. What do drivers switch on in dense fog to be visible? Drivers switch on fog lights in dense fog to be visible. Are rural areas more densely populated than urban ones? No, rural areas aren't more densely populated than urban ones. Why are urban areas more damaging to the environment than rural ones? Urban areas are more damaging to the environment than rural ones because they produce more household and industrial waste. How can urban life affect our health? Urban life can affect our health by leading to different stress-related illnesses. How does the urban environment of Rome differ from that of New York? The urban environment of Rome differs from that of New York because Rome reminds one more of an ancient town with no modern buildings in the city center, whereas New York has many skyscrapers.
What do you prefer, living in an urban area or a rural one? What do you prefer?
I prefer.
Which lifestyle?
I prefer to live in rural areas.
Okay, you prefer that kind of
in
lifestyle?
a rural area.
Okay. So is it important for a business or a company to maintain a good cash flow?
Yes, it's very important for a company to maintain a good cash flow.
Okay, why?
Because they don't have money to pay the bills on time.
Are you bound by a contract after you've signed it?
Yes, I'm bound by a contract after signing it.
Okay. What kind of seats, what kind of vehicle seats are adjustable?
Passengers' front seats are adjustable.
Mm-hmm. In a typical car. Okay. Mm-hmm. What else?
In the car in general.
No, not only
seats.
cars, also other modes of transport besides cars.
Bicycle
Bicycle seats.
seats are adjustable.
Very good. Have human beings adapted well to living in any conditions?
Human beings are adjustable to living, adapted, or have adapted.
Have human beings adapted to living in almost any conditions?
Yes, human beings have adapted to living in almost any conditions.
Okay. So what do you have to adapt to when you change, when you move out from one neighborhood to another, or when you change jobs? What do you have to adjust to in both cases?
I have to adjust to new living conditions when I move to another place or I change my work job.
Okay, very good. Which type of houses would you prefer for your family?
I prefer a cottage for my family.
Oh, excellent. Very good. And all the time, not like a holiday place. Like it's a all the time place. Okay.
Modern cottage.
What famous skyscrapers do you know?
in
Dubai.
In Dubai, I know. Okay.
That one definitely. It's famous. What
else?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Very good. So you're going to tell me like 7 words you remember from today's lesson.
From today's lesson, I don't remember.
Well,
Let's take me a look. It was what was it about?
It was about trains. It was about
today's lesson.
Yes.
No, not revision. Yes.
Yeah, to what we've seen today. We revised, but still.
Still okay. But from the new lesson, I don't remember.
No, so estimate?
Yes.
No, just from what we did today.
Yes.
From train. Anything about train.
Train, compartment, track, platform, carriage, and yeah.
Okay, so from estimation.
Estimation. It was to estimate. And estimate.
In order to leave abroad, what must you have?
Estimation.
Either to leave or what should I have? What do you think I got for me to be able to live in Poland? Study in Poland.
A grant, yes.
Not a grant.
And
grant is, yeah, but that's also
reward,
what we saw.
Grant, and what else make you
No,
I don't know.
a foreigner in a different country.
A work permit?
Yeah, no, permit.
Permit. Ah, you mean
Yeah,
permit. But you don't need work permit to
You
teach,
just need
yes?
a visa.
Visa.
But like it's the visa is like the living permit.
Permit, okay. And something else?
Permit, exactly. Estimation. Sky, stars in the sky.
It was like
Skirted.
no.
Skirted. All over the place.
Yeah.
Scatter.
Yes,
Skirted.
Skirted. Skirted. Okay, yeah.
Stars skirted in the
Skirted.
sky. There's also sayings. Something about to happen. There's like two kind of sayings in court. In court. A witness.
It was, you mean oath, yes?
Swear oath.
Swear
and
oath.
then there's also seeds.
Seeds?
Seeds of what?
Seeds of doubt, you mean?
So, before that.
To
Plant seeds. Plant seeds of doubt. Instead of plant.
plant instead of plant. So.
Seeds.
It was plural, yes?
Yeah.
So seeds of doubt. Okay.
Excellent. Very good.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And if you want to practice English, you're welcome to this school. Okay. See you. Bye.